Thanks for tuning into another installment of AST Alex's Sports Talk Show, where I will be breaking down the top 5 cornerbacks, starting with play from last year and also heading into this year, because there's only been 4 games so far, so it's really hard to tell who's going to make this list. So I'm going to just dive right into this. Coming at number 5, I got Tre'Darius White of the Buffalo Bills. He is a young promising cornerback of this strong Buffalo D who balled out in week 3 with 2 interceptions. He is a young 24 years old, so he's just starting to get into his prime. He is going to be climbing up this list in the next few years for sure. Now let's get into some stats now, shall we? He has a passer rating allowed of 52.3 with a completion rate of when targeted is 56.5. He has allowed 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So he's a good piece of this Bills defense, this Buffalo defense that does not get a lot of credit just because they're in the AFC East with the Patriots, where they'll never make it into the playoffs or get the division. So I got Tre'Darius White coming at number 5. Number 4, I got Xavier Howard. He plays for the Miami Dolphins. Now, hold up. I know I got a Miami Dolphin player on here, but let me explain why I have him on here. He is currently the highest paid cornerback, signing a new deal last year where he had a league low passer rating of 62.6 and a league high interceptions with 7. Now, he's on the worst team right now, so it is very difficult for him to shine, and his stats do not show he's elite. So his stats so far this year, he has allowed 150 passer rating and a completion rate of 81%. Yeah, those stats are horrible, but, as this guy, he's 26-year-old. He's really, he actually is elite. But when you're on the worst team, hard for him to shine. But I still have Xavier Howard in this top 5 because if you look at his film from last year and even into sometimes this year, he will shut down big time guys. Okay, number 3, I got big play Slay, Darius Slay Jr. of the Detroit Lions. He did not play last week when they went up against the Kansas City Chiefs, which is unfortunate. It would have been a lot closer game. But if you look at my last video, I definitely called Patrick Mahomes leading a game-winning drive late in the 4th quarter. Now, Darius Slay, some of his stats. He has 3 passes broken up. He has 0 touchdowns allowed, 1 interception. His completion rate when targeted is 56.5%. And his passer rating he's allowed is 74.4. Now, Darius Slay, for those of you who don't know, is a wide receiver nightmare. He is athletic, he is fast, and he is a ball hawker. Now, for those of you who don't know what ball hawker is, it means someone who has the instinct for where the ball is going to go. He reads the wide receiver routes, he reads the quarterback's eyes, and then he jumps the route when the pass is being thrown to him. Now, he's almost 29. Now, it's time to get into the edge of his prime, but big play Slay coming in at number 3. Now, the last 2, it was a little tough for me. The last 2, I have Jalen Ramsey and Stephon Gilmore. So who comes in at number 2, Alex? Well, take a guess. That's right, Jalen Ramsey. You got it right. If you didn't, I'm sorry, I'll explain why. So Jalen Ramsey is a once-in-a-generation player. He is elite to the standard. He is elite. He is a shutdown cornerback. So right now he's on a slow start. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to catch you up on some football news. He requested a trade from Jacksonville a couple weeks ago. When he did that, he pretty much called out of work with sickness, back tightness. So right now he's kind of got a lot on his mind. He wants to get out of Jacksonville because him and the general manager Tom Coughlin do not see eye to eye at whatever. So some of his stats, just to let you know, this year, his passer rating is 114.2. His completion rate when targeted is 66.7, but he has a 0% burn rate. He's allowed 1 touchdown and has no interceptions. I definitely think that this is not Jalen Ramsey or what even close he wants to be, because we know what Jalen Ramsey is and how he performs. This isn't up to his standard. But like I said, you know, he wants to get out of Jacksonville. He wants to just move on because he wants to be the highest paid cornerback. And Jacksonville could make that happen. But like I said, him and Tom Coughlin do not see eye to eye. He is 26 years old. So still a lot left in the tank. Jags are asking for essentially 2 first-round picks, if not a first-round pick, a couple other picks, and then some talented guy. So I got Jalen Ramsey coming in at 2, which can only mean Stephon Gilmore coming in at number 1. He is a number 1 lockdown target. He will take any wide receiver threat off the board for the offense. He is a hard-hitting ball hawker. I can just have so much to say right now about Stephon Gilmore that I'm just trying to, you know, make sure it all comes out right. So he is 29 years old, so kind of getting to the end of his prime, but it don't look like he's getting out of his prime. Some stats for you now, some stats. He has allowed a passer rating of 51.3. He has a burn rate of 3.3%, so, you know, he kind of barely gets burned. Barely gets burned, you know what I'm saying? 3.3 is literally nothing. He has allowed 0 touchdowns and has 2 interceptions. Now, going back into the Super Bowl 53 of last year, the Patriots versus the Rams, he took out Brandon Cooks, he took out Robert Woods, he took out their elite receivers. Now, big-time plays are made by big-time players. And Stephon Gilmore is a big-time player. He had the game-sealing interception in Super Bowl 53 right around the 10-yard line late in the fourth quarter to help lift the Patriots to their 6th Super Bowl title. Man, Stephon Gilmore, you are crazy. He is so good. So I want to just break it down, do a little review. Top 5 cornerbacks. Number 5, Tre'Darius White. Number 4, Xavier Howard. Number 3, big play Darius Slay Jr. Number 2, Jalen Ramsey. And number 1, Stephon Gilmore. Those are my top cornerbacks that I have really seen step out recently. Some honorable mentions who make this list are Marshon Lattimore, just because of last week taking out Mari Cooper. He was struggling, but last week he showed why he is still a top cornerback in this league. So Marshon Lattimore come in at number 6. Thanks for tuning in today. Please comment, like, subscribe. Have a good day. Peace.